Hey, how's it going? So today I'm going to be going over how to create a morning ritual. Now, this may seem a little weird, and just follow along with me, but how you start your day is a very big determinant of how the rest of your day goes. So, you want to create a solid start for your day. This is so important because one of the things about being working for yourself or being an entrepreneur and running your own business is you no longer have, you define how your days go. You don't have a boss. You don't have that typical structure that you get from running being a part of a bigger business. So you really have to be, knowledgeable about and conscious about how you do this. So I'm going to go into a good format for creating your own morning ritual. And I'm also going to show you the morning rituals of many other people that are very successful. So, how do most people start their days? Well, most people start their days in a state of frustration. Most people, have that alarm clock go off and they hit that alarm clock and they hit the snooze button a couple times and they start their days angry and frustrated and, maybe sometimes overwhelmed. And if you start your day that way, if you start your day in a state of frustration, your day is going to not be very good. It's going to be non-productive and it's just going to really not help you. So here's my kind of quick tips. Here's my formula for creating a morning ritual to really get your body in peak state, both mentally, physically, and just get your production through the roof. So hang with me, guys. Some of this stuff is, it doesn't immediately pertain to affiliate marketing, but it pertains to running your own business. And part of being able to experience that freedom in your life to run your own business from wherever you want is actually making sure you have that due diligence and consistency of constantly being there to watch over your business or do the changes that you need to do within it. So the first thing I do is smile. First thing I do when I wake up, always smile. Be conscious about this. Just put a big smile on your face. Engaging your physiology, engaging your, just your facial muscles to smile is actually going to create energy within your body because you're conditioned to be happy and be in a good state of mind when you're smiling. It's almost like it's almost like a chicken and egg scenario. Your body doesn't usually just by smiling you're naturally going to start releasing endorphins within your body. You're going to start warming up. Blood's going to flow better. You're going to breathe better. All this stuff starts happening just by smiling. As silly as that sounds, it actually works. It's kind of a hack, human hacking right here. Again, this is a much better way to start the day than being in frustration or just being etc. The next thing I do is I stretch. So you want to engage your body. You want to stretch. You want to start getting your muscles kind of flowing. Get your blood flowing through your muscles and start loosening everything up. And get your blood circulating, because the more you get your blood circulating, the more your body's just going to work better, and you're going to be prepared. Because most of our days we're sitting down. Most of our time at the computers, we're sitting down, and that isn't conducive to either mental, engaging fully mentally, or just engaging fully in any way. So you want to really just get your body flowing, get yourself in that sort of peak state to get ready to work, so you can be operating at full mental capacity. The next thing is notice your breath. So after you stretch or do whatever, you know, I personally, I breathe deeply, and I do deep breaths. Generally, I breathe in for 5 seconds. I hold the breath for 20 seconds, and then I release for 10. And I do this a couple times. I do this a number of times just to start getting my body in a rhythm, just to start preparing myself for getting myself in a rhythm. And I actually combine this step and the next step, but I will think of 3 things while I'm doing these breaths to be grateful for. So if you start your day, and this might sound kind of weird to you, but if you start your day with things that you are grateful for, it's going to put you in a better mindset to do work throughout the rest of the day. If you start your day pissed off and angry and overwhelmed, you're not going to be as productive during the rest of the day. When athletes, professional athletes, go onto the court, they go on that court pumped up and ready to win. On that court, they have not, they are not thinking of all the other stuff that's going on in their life. They're there, they're ready to win, and they are, they're in it, man. So you want to get yourself in that zone, and this is just a way of easing yourself in. Remember, just easing yourself into getting in that zone when you are, waking up. And you may notice because I've done this so many times, my energy itself is kind of moving up just because I've conditioned myself to get into this place. Now, part of the thing is with being grateful is you don't want to just be grateful for the big things. You could say you're grateful for your wife or your girlfriend or your kids or your house or your cars, but one of the big, be grateful for little things, because, a lot of people, the problem with being grateful for, cars or stuff like that is, what if you don't have them? You want to make sure you're also grateful for those little things in your life. And I always make myself grateful for 2 things that are just small things, such as, the smell of autumn, or I'm grateful for the wind, or the sound of the wind, going through the trees outside my house at night, or maybe I'm grateful for my wife, the sound of the wind, and I'm grateful for maybe just the California coastline or something like that. But you always want to make sure it's not just big things you're grateful for, but make sure you're grateful for some of the small things, because that's going to carry you through when maybe the big things aren't present. Now, this one's a cool one. But when I get out of bed, the first thing I do is I drink a big glass of water. But no matter who you are, you definitely want to get some water in your body right after you wake up. And this may sound stupid and simple, and you're like, this is obvious. But honestly, most people don't do this. Most people are severely dehydrated, actually. And lots of, especially Americans, substitute, when they think they're hungry when they're actually thirsty. And this is the reason why lots of people, there are a lot of people that have excess weight on them, and, that lowers overall energy because, people substitute food for water. I used to think, just to give you guys a side note, I used to think all the time, I used to eat a 4th meal at night all the time because I always thought I was hungry. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get another hamburger and fries. I'd go out for a midnight meal at In-N-Out. In-N-Out's my favorite hamburger place out here in California, and I'd get In-N-Out. I'd get a big double cheeseburger and fries, and sometimes if I was feeling up for it, a milkshake too. And in reality, I wasn't hungry. I was actually just thirsty. And I could have quelled that, by just drinking a glass or 2 of water. Lots of times in the morning I wake up and I just want to stuff my face with, you know, Cheerios and milk or something like that, when in reality I was just, you know, a glass or two of water. You know, my body was just asking to be hydrated again. So drinking a big glass of water is a great way to keep your body energized, keep everything, you know, and keep yourself healthy instead of just kind of defaulting to, you know, getting fatty food, which is generally, you know, what we put in our mouths, you know, if we're really hungry, or if we think we're hungry. So I think it's really important, this one. Next thing is to really, you know, and keep in mind, you're starting to, you're moving up the scale. You're engaging more and more of your body. So after you drink a glass of water and, you know, you're up walking around, do something physical. What I like to do personally is, you know, I do push-ups. You know, in the morning I'll do push-ups or crunches. Or I'll go to my gym and I will, you know, my home gym, and, you know, not driving yet. And, you know, I'll go to my home gym and start working out. You know, I just do a couple machines and, you know, I start really engaging my body and I get my blood flowing and I really start, you know, building my muscles, breaking things down and giving myself, you know, even more, you know, energy and good stress. You know, this is good stress. To get myself fully engaged and fully present, getting prepared for the day to come. Because one thing I've realized that's really important to success is engaging 100% of your brain. The way I used to work is I used to kind of work in a very reactive mode. I used to work in a way that I would go on my computer and I would check emails, then I would check campaigns to see what I needed to fix, and then I would check my Skype messages and see if people needed me to do anything, and I just keep checking things and reacting to things throughout the day, just reaction, reaction, reaction. And, you know, I did that whole thing with my life. I would just get up and go on the computer and start reacting to things, whereas this way, when you're reacting, you're only engaging like 20% of your brain because it feels good. It feels good to just react to things all day. And that's why most people watch TV. Most people are not on TV or featured on TV. And the reason why most people watch TV as opposed to are on TV, it's just obvious. You know, it's easier. It's easier to sit on a couch and watch things happen than actually make things happen. It's so much easier to just sit on a couch and watch things happen. And it's the same thing with business. Even when you are a business owner and you're somebody making things happen, it's easier for you to sit behind that computer and just react to emails, react to messages, react to, campaigns doing badly, react to whatever's going on around you, because it's easier. Whereas you're getting yourself pumped up, you're engaging your body, you're breathing, you're stretching, you're being grateful. You have to engage yourself so that instead of just reacting every day and using 20% of your brain, you're engaging all 100% of your brain, so you can make things happen, so you can either, however you're, promoting your, affiliate campaigns, but you're making things happen and you're making money. You're getting people, signed up for products or services or whatnot, and you're making things happen. And part of what I do, so I kind of started going into this slide, but part of what I did, when I work out, or sometimes I actually go for a mile run. So if I'm in LA, I will go for a mile run. I run, I have an office and I run to my office, because I've separated kind of work and family. So, I play music. I play some super awesome music to get myself in the zone. Some music I like, I listen to, one thing I recommend you do is look up Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within playlists. So if you search Unleash the Power Within playlist, you get some really cool really cool playlists in here of, you know, a lot of music which is designed to help you get into peak state. And, you know, all this stuff is good. You know, check this out. You know, they just, you know, lots of cool stuff, AC/DC and all this other stuff, you know, Bob Sinclair. But whatever it is that gets you going, you know, whatever it is that helps you kind of start really getting ready to take on the day and make the most of, you know, the time or the limited time you have to run, you know, your business, you know, get pumped up. You know, definitely get in the zone, you know, get prepared to make things happen. Most people are just reacting. You're going to be different. Another thing I do is I always remind myself of my driving goals. And these are usually, you know, this can mean looking at your vision board. If you already went through the vision board exercise, I suggest you do it and start, you know, and you know, also it means just, you know, or just reading your long-term goals if you have them on a piece of paper. Now, for me, you know, I'm looking to create a virtual reality education company or education platform. You know, that's a really big thing for me. I want to create a virtual, you know, a MOOC, virtual reality education platform, massive online open course in virtual reality to help people out with business. Now, that's my dream. You know, it's a big dream, but I ask myself, am I moving towards that today? Is what I'm doing moving towards that? And I get myself, you know, thinking, am I making progress towards that every step of the day, every step of the way, every single day? So whatever your long-term goal is, and whatever that may be, you know, maybe it's to afford a down payment on your dream house. Maybe it's to save up $200,000 so you can have that down payment on your dream house. Or maybe it is to, you know, get a certain number of conversions, or to write a new ad, or, you know, whatever that is. Make sure you remind yourself of your, you know, driving goals, you know, and, you know, so you can get there. The next thing is plan your day. So this is really important. Give yourself, you know, I have a notebook where I write down everything I do, you know, my to-do list for every single day, and you know, I only write down a couple items each day. I only give myself a few things to do each day, and I make sure the things that I need to do each day are mission critical and they're going to move me closer to that long-term goal. If it's not moving me towards that long-term goal, it's probably wasting time. Now, we all give ourselves sorts of excuses of, you know, these are things that are super important. I need to, you know, I need to send this letter, or I need to send this, or I need to do this, or whatever that is, I need to call this person. Most of that stuff can be put off, honestly. You need to give yourself chunks of time to focus on the big items on your list and, you know, what's going to move the ball forward. Because most, you know, the way I used to run my business in just reaction mode is I would come into the office and I'd look at emails, or I'd look at whatever, you know, when I used to work with clients, and the problem was when I was freelancing, I was a freelancer managing advertising accounts for you know, small businesses, and I would spend my day just reacting to emails from them. I had about a dozen clients, and I would just be answering emails all day, and I'd never get any real work done that was necessary to grow my business. And my business ended up falling apart because I couldn't get, you know, when I had a lot of clients, I couldn't focus time on those big picture activities to grow the business because I was just reacting. And, you know, ironically, when the business got small enough and when I lost enough clients, I would have more time so I could actually do proactive things to, you know, move the business forward. You know, hiring people, getting clients, etc. And I just kind of wiffle-waffled in between this kind of, you know, it's like a pendulum, like reactive, proactive, and the net effect was I never ended up moving anywhere. I just stayed where I was. So always make sure you plan your day, but keep in mind kind of what are those big things that are going to take your business to the next level. You know, and it could be writing a new ad. It could be setting up a blog. It could be, you know, having an important meeting with someone who's going to help you out. Whatever those things are, keep those in mind when you plan your day. Now, this is a key one, especially for those of you that, you know, have more, you know, higher than average self-doubts or lower self-esteem in general when it comes to business. Now, if you've had a number of businesses, if you've been trying to make it in business for a while and you haven't been able to crack the nut, you may have low self-esteem or self-doubts when it comes to business, and you may need more accountability. You may need somebody to help hold you accountable, because generally, if our internal kind of, our mind, our just human brain is trained to, you know, jump around, you know, and today more so than ever in the era of social media, our brains are trained to just work at a very low capacity and just jump around from thing to thing, you know, to shiny object to shiny object to shiny object, you know, check Facebook, check Twitter, you know, go to this site, start doing research here, start doing this research for this. And we never want to focus on one thing, and our days get away from us. Just like I was saying, you live in a reactive state of mind, and you know, if you're living in a reactive state of mind, you need to stop that. Now, if you have an accountability partner, if you have a partner, whether that is, you know, it could be a wife or a girlfriend, or it could be a business partner, or you know, it could be a friend, you know, and you call and you have a 5 to 10 minute call each day with. You should have accountability, and you should be able to say, hey, you know, it could be a simple call where you say, okay, these are the 3 things I'm going to accomplish today. I'm going to write a new ad, I'm going to set up a landing page, and I'm going to watch a number of videos on optimization so I could learn how to optimize, you know, my advertising better, or whatever that is. You know, or I'm going to Google, you know, I'm going to do some Google searches for how to do, you know, SEO, or whatever those things are that you need to do for that day. Have somebody hold you accountable for them, and then update them if you did them or not the next day. So this is really important if you need that, and most people need it. I need it. So let me give you some examples. So that's kind of, you know, and this obviously takes us, you know, after you do this, you're kind of in your day. You're sitting at your computer and you're working, in my case. You know, so let me give you examples of some other people's morning rituals. I hope this is becoming clear to you guys as you're going through this. So here's some examples of other people's morning rituals. So in a commencement address he gave at Stanford back in 2005, Steve Jobs revealed that the motivational tactic he used to start each day. So what Steve Jobs would do is he would look in the mirror every morning and ask himself, if today was the last day of his life, would I do what I'm about to do today? And whenever the answer was no for too many days in a row, he knew he needed to change something. So, you know, you might want to ask yourself that, or you might want to have some questions that you ask yourself. Maybe it can be a simpler question, you know, like, is what I'm about to do today going to move me closer to my ultimate goal? That would be a good question. You could come up with multiple questions based off of this, using the information, you know, or maybe another question would be, you know, is what I'm about to do today going to, you know, help me get closer to buying that house, or whatever that is, you know, whatever it is for you. I like specificity. Now here's Ron Freeman. He's a founder of a company and an author. He said, he asked himself the moment he sits at his desk, you know, the day is over and I'm leaving the office with a tremendous sense of accomplishment. This is a great NLP tactic here. What have I achieved? So, look, again, for many of us, checking email and listening to voicemail is practically automatic. In many ways, these are among the worst ways to start a day. Both activities hijack our focus and put us in reactive mode where other people's priorities take center stage. They are the equivalent of entering a kitchen and looking for a spill to clean or a pot to scrub. Now, you want to ask yourself, because of course, what he's implying here is if you look back on what you did that day, and you say, well, I answered a bunch of emails and I listened to a couple voicemails and I called some people back, that's not going to be a way that you can say you've accomplished anything that day. Whereas if you say, okay, I created a new website, or I started you started a YouTube channel and you uploaded 10 videos about, whatever you're promoting as an affiliate, or whatever that is, now you're proactive. Now you're saying, boom, I did something. So that can be, you want to, this is called future pacing in neuro-linguistic programming. That's kind of an advanced copywriting technique. I'll explain that somewhere later. Here's another one. Kenneth Chenault, American Express CEO. The last thing he does each day, so this is not a morning ritual, but he writes down the top 3 things he wants to accomplish tomorrow. That he uses that list to start his next day. I do the same thing, actually. That's part of how, part of the reason I keep this notebook here is I always write down what I'm going to do for the next day. So whenever I finish one day, I'm already on to what I'm going to do for the next day. Now here's Margaret Thatcher. She's the oh, sorry, we skipped one. Vogue editor-in-chief, Anna Wintour. One or more enthusiastic morning routines that she does is play an hour-long tennis match. That's interesting. Very physically engaging. Some people say sports is almost a form of meditation because you're only focused on one thing. You're very, you don't have a million thoughts clouding your brain or your judgment. Margaret Thatcher. She woke up at 5 a.m. and listened to Farming Today. I guess it reminded her of, food or farming or countryside that, I'm guessing it made her happy. I'm guessing these are things that, really, gave her a sense of peace and calm before she went into, heavy political discussions and negotiations. Now, here's a great person. He is, this is another sort of self-improvement, self-help junkie. Probably the original self-improvement guru is Benjamin Franklin, and also a founding father of the United States. And one of the things he did was he did it for 3 hours. He had a morning routine for 3 hours, and he asked himself, one of the things he did was he asked himself, what good shall I do today? Basically, similar to what the American Express CEO does, is he says, when I look back on my day, what good stuff is going to come out of this? So I think that's great. P.G. Wodehouse, author and humorist, when he woke up, he'd head right to the back porch and do some calisthenics. Make breakfast, read a book. Reading a book engages your mind. It starts waking up your brain and getting you into the zone. And I think that's a really good way to do things. One thing I tried doing is, for a while, I would read a chapter of a book every day in the morning, and that is, that can be a really powerful way. That might be something you want to incorporate into your morning routine, because it's a powerful way to wake up your brain and engage your brain and start the day with a sense of peace and calm, and not start the day in a reactive state. Again, the goal here is to start the day on your terms so you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. And reading a book is something you're doing on your terms. You're not reacting to anybody else. So this is powerful, powerful stuff, people. William Styron, novelist. So he well, he slept until noon, but you know, he read as well. So, you know, sitting in bed and reading can be another thing. Whatever you do, you know. So I don't know if I really agree with this one, but this is what one person does is this person checks Twitter and her favorite websites. You know, she does skip TV though, but you know, whatever, you know, everybody's going to have their own routine, but I would say, you know, kind of shy away from checking social media because that's going to put you in probably a reactive state of mind. So, you know, I like news, but I would say kind of veer away from things that are going to put you in a reactive state of mind. And Twitter is kind of like junk food for the brain. Facebook and Twitter, they're both junk food for the brain, and that's their whole goal. Their whole goal is to have you operating at, you know, only 20% of your brain power and just give you really quick hits of things that are interesting. Ooh, interesting headline. Ooh, interesting headline. And, you know, that's what we do as marketers too. But ultimately, Twitter and Facebook are just junk food for the brain. They're not going to help you, you know, just constantly reading those things isn't going to help you. So I don't really agree with this one. You know, so this guy, David Karp, the founder of Tumblr, he doesn't go straight to his email. You know, he does, you know, a walk or a Vespa ride, and you know, he says if something's super urgent, someone will call or text me. So he makes sure his first task is not email, and you know, then he makes sure that, you know, the next thing is he only responds to email from his employees, not everybody else. So, you know, kind of prioritizing his day, but he starts it on his own terms. So I think that's cool. So this is really cool, and Craig Newmark is a very kind of customer-centric person. This is the founder of Craigslist. You know, I don't know, he has hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars most likely, and he starts his day by, you know, looking at what customers are saying about his products or his market, you know, about Craigslist or about their marketing, etc., how the product works. And that's an interesting thing first because he's putting himself in the mindset of the customer from the very beginning. So he's immediately turning his brain away from kind of like, oh, how do I make more money? How do I, you know, keep investors happy, or how do I keep my business partners happy, or how do I write ads that work, or whatever, you know, whatever things you might worry about. He goes straight to focusing on how do I connect better with the customer. And ultimately, as affiliate marketers, we're looking to do this too, because we're looking to say, how do we connect better with the customer? So this might be something you want to work into your own routine. Think to yourself, how do I connect more with this customer? What are they feeling? What are they thinking about? How do I talk to them better? Here's another person's morning routine. Wake up early, decide and review what to do for the rest of the day, work out, eat a healthy breakfast, maintain a journal, meditate, finish difficult tasks with focused work. So look at all that stuff they did before they even, you know, got into work. And then at the end of the day, they focus on outlearning their competition. And just as you are now, you're outlearning your competition. You're putting yourself leaps and spades above anybody else who's out there trying to become successful, trying to start their own business, or trying to grow their own business. So this is, you know, this is a good plan too. You might want to incorporate some of this into your plan. So here's another person's morning routine. Start every morning with gratitude. You know, what is it like for those who can hear a bird song every morning? Blah, blah, blah. You know, hot water with lemon and honey. That's interesting. It's, you know, it stimulates the senses with fresh lemon, and it also heals internal organs. It purifies the stomach, prepares the liver to work, etc. And then, you know, some sort of movement, whether it's a shake or whether it's a run or whether it's a workout, you know, you get your energy flowing. So I like this because you start with kind of the mental, you know, you start with, you know, this person is starting their morning with kind of clearing their mental state and getting gratitude into their mental state. They're purifying their internal, body then, and then they're moving into their external energy, getting ready for work and whatnot. So now we're at the end of the this video. I hope you guys got something from this. Now it's time for you to create your own morning ritual. So there should be a form or a box below, comment box below, that you can fill out your own, that you can input your own morning ritual, create it. I definitely am interested in seeing what you came up with, if you're willing to share, that is. And keep in mind, pause the video or do whatever you can and just create your own morning ritual. It's going to help you out dramatically, and remember, it's going to help you run your own business, and it's going to make you exponentially more productive than if you start your day in a reactive state of mind. If you start your day frustrated, angry, peed off, etc., that's not going to help you become productive throughout the day. Whereas if you start your day with a plan, with energy, with a plan, with gratitude, you're going to be so much more successful, and you're going to be, you're going to get a lot more work done. So I hope that helps, and I look forward to seeing sort of what your morning ritual is, or what your new morning ritual is going to look like. So thanks for watching.